Oh, what's up, guys? Gun here. Happy NBA big opening day. 13 games on the docket. It's Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. We had a taste of NBA DFS last night. 2 games, Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Nets. Maybe games didn't go quite the way we expected, but I definitely expect the Nets to maybe outclass the Warriors. The Clippers and Lakers, very interesting game that developed there, man. I had some fun. Hopefully you guys tailed it. Was a profitable night. One of the biggest pieces of news of the day for me personally was Spencer Dinwiddie being confirmed as the starter over Caris LeVert, which I immediately went to getting as much Caris LeVert as I could because I figured off the bench, sharing the court a little less with KD and Kyrie Irving, he would have a real potential against a G League second unit in the Warriors. And then, of course, when he got lopsided, he was out there just getting it in. So a lot of Caris LeVert really made it a profitable night for me last night. And hopefully you guys had him across your lineups as well. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 plays I like on DraftKings on my first look on the slate. But I do want to let you guys know that we will be live right here on the channel at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. So if you guys have been missing out those live streams like I have, maybe make sure you hit that notifications bell and be around when we are live. It's going to be a lot of fun. I miss interacting with the live chat and chopping up 13 games of NBA basketball. It's going to be so much fun and then to watch it play out tonight. I'm excited. I'm really excited. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and then of course, like I said, hit that notifications bell. We're going to pump out a lot of NBA DFS content nearly every day right here on the channel, including some live streams to get you going throughout the day. On the screen, you'll see the front page of rundfs.com. If you guys want to go above and beyond, get access to my proprietary spreadsheets, my personal player pool, my personal projections, you can get all that with a premium access membership at rundfs.com. Get yourself signed up, go to the VIP passes, and check it out, man. We've got a really, really nice, tight-knit community of grinders across every entry, we'll call it stake size. We've got always be placing. I don't think anyone's going to top him for a while. He literally won $1 million a couple weeks ago. We got several 100K winners, and we just got guys that will grind at all different stakes. We got quarter arcade grinders. We got $200 single entry, $500 single entries. We got guys at all different levels. So no matter what stakes you play, 20 entry max, big dollar single entries, there's a group here for you. We root for each other. Would love for you to come and be part of this community. Every day before lock, I do a 2-hour pre-lock voice chat. You guys can listen in on and lurk, type questions in chat, or grab a microphone and just be part of the fraternity. It's a lot of fun every day. I will see you guys at the live stream, but let's get into the picks for today's. So, on DraftKings.com, there's so many studs. There's so many games. James Harden, Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Russell Westbrook, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. There's so many big price guys in great spots. I try to not be the cheesy guy that gives you the obvious 10K guys. I like to go a little bit more across the board, the mid stakes, the medium guys. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to talk about some of the names and price points that stand out to me the most. And let's get started. I'm going to start with the point guard position. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's 7,500. The Thunder's going to live and die by the leadership on the court by SGA this season. Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, and Steven Adams have all moved on, and SGA will need to pick up a lot of slack currently as he's surrounded by guys like George Hill, Lou Dort, Darius Bazley, and Al Horford. The Rockets are currently a 7-point favorite with potential to run away with this game, but if the Thunder can keep this game close, I think they will have to do it through SGA. I'm looking for him to push 30 real points here and peripheral his way to 40-plus fantasy points. He has to get me 40-plus at 7,500 for me to feel like I got a solid deal. But I certainly believe the usage will be there for him. And I think he has potential to be an 85 to 9K player if he really plays to his peak going forward. I know the Rockets on paper look like they should outmatch the Thunder. They should certainly have no problem scoring, but I do think there's something to be said and be made of the James Harden saga that's going on, that maybe this team's not going to be quite cohesive and tight-knit, at least early on until a deal gets done. So I'm not going to overreact to maybe Rockets blowing out teams. We'll see what happens. They certainly have the talent to do it, but I'm not going to overreact early on. So I'm going to put SGA as one of the core guys I want to build around today. And I'm going to move on to the next guy, and that's going to be Zach LaVine, 7,900, the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls blew out the Hawks every game they played last season. Hawks and Bulls were two teams that did not make it to the bubble, and they should be able to full send into opening day minute-wise for all of their starters. Also, the Hawks should be much more competitive overall, but especially against a lower tier team like the Chicago Bulls. I don't really expect the Bulls to blow out the Hawks again. I love Zach LaVine to thrive in this fast-paced contest and to rack up 20, 30 real points and also pick up a lot of peripherals along the way. 40-plus fantasy points is in the cards. The game total sits at 231.5, and the Hawks are favored by 2. I'm privy to a game stack as well, but I certainly think this is one of those blow-up spots for Zach LaVine, and I would not be surprised if LaVine drops himself 50-plus fantasy points. He's one of many mid-balance lineup guys I'm digging so much today. It's a 13-game slate. I do think on these big slates, there's not typically a lot of must-play chalk that's going to exceed 40-50%. And I think that will be the case mostly today. But I think the following guy I'm going to talk about might be the exception to the rule. Sticking to the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams. He's 3K. He's small forward, power forward eligible, so you can put him in 4 spots in your DraftKings lineups, small forward, power forward, forward, and util, and he's bare bones min. Patrick Williams was the 4th overall pick in the draft, and he's listed at 3K. This seems like an egregious error on DraftKings' part, and although Patrick Williams and Otto Porter have exchanged starts in preseason, he's in the rotation in 25-plus minutes in this game's pace total with his skill set. The opportunity cost is just way too low at 3K to not try and get a whole lot of. He's going to be the glue in a lot of studs and scrubs lineups, but even a lot of balanced lineups. At 3K, I would love 20-plus fantasy points. I think 25 fantasy points is something I like. I think one of the scenarios that might play out today is a lot of people expect Patrick Williams to start, and then maybe Otto Porter draws a start, and people are like, oh, maybe I don't play Patrick Williams now. I don't think that would get me off of Patrick Williams. I still think from what we saw in preseason, the idea to get him involved in the rotation is there, and he might even be better suited off the bench from a fantasy perspective with a little bit more usage to boot, not contending with Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, and Wendell Carter Jr. So Patrick Williams, far too cheap at 3K. We're going to put him in there. We got 2 guys left. Let's go to the powered forward spot. $6,500. The disrespect. Lamarcus Aldridge. No. Oh, you guys know my history with LMA, but man, oh man, 6,500. It's another 231 point over/under total. Memphis is favored by 2, and it's $6,500. I think there's plenty of meat on the bone for Lamarcus Aldridge to produce into the mid-30s to 40-plus fantasy points. He's actually exceeded 30-plus DKP against the Grizzlies in 4 straight games and 39.8 or more in 3 of the last 4. So essentially, 75% of the time, he's been scoring 40 fantasy points or better against the Memphis Grizzlies. Greg Popovich wants Lamarcus Aldridge to shoot threes a little bit more, and we've seen him attempt to do that in his last preseason game where he took 10 threes against the Thunder in 25 minutes. He only made 30% of them, but it's still a sign that he's listening to Pop, and if he's going to hit threes at a 30 to 40% clip as a big at 6,500 against the Grizzlies with this total, he's multi-position eligible. I'll definitely have to have some LMA, the disrespect. Losing my voice all of a sudden. But that's fine, because I only have one more guy I want to talk about. Center's pretty stacked here. Giannis Antetokounmpo now center eligible. Joel Embiid, Karl-Anthony Towns, Nikola Jokic, and Vucevic. But the guy I want to talk about, A.K. Andre the Giant Drummond. Oh my. The Charlotte Hornets were a team I ran to play bigs against last season, and they did not make many personnel changes to hinder that approach for me to start the season, meaning they didn't beef it up. Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball, so what? You got no size. I think Andre Drummond should feast. Furthermore, Kevin Love has been ruled out, and Drummond is just looking like 8K Godzilla versus this undersized Hornets team that just might feed him 15-plus rebounds, several blocks, and if he can get to about 20 real points and a couple steals, this could be a massive day and a massive game for Andre Drummond. So put him in. He'll likely be my highest owned player on both sites, with a potential asterisk by Patrick Williams' name. Man, I really lost my voice throughout this video. Anyway, those are the names I have in mind in my first look. I'm very curious to see who you guys are digging early on. It's a 13-game slate. There's so many different ways to get weird, to think about what would happen. The edge in guessing is there this early. Talked about it with Karis LeVert yesterday, going to the bench, got him at 12% or less on either side, and it was huge. So if you guys got that bad feeling or that feeling in your bad knee about a certain guy early on, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I got to get to some water. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central right here on the channel. And if you guys got anything else for me, twitter.com/GundeckerSports. That's where you can interact with me. My DMs, as always, are open. I love each and every one of you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.